It's my pleasure to introduce the chairman and CEO of the XPRIZE Foundation. He's the author of a New York Times bestseller, Abundance, The Future is Better Than You Think. He's a graduate of MIT and Harvard Medical School. His personal motto, I love it, the best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Peter Diamandis.
Thank you, Rob, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I want to also thank, obviously, WLSA for giving us this platform to share with you what we're extraordinarily inspired about announcing here today. Before I do that, let me tell you a little bit more about the XPRIZE Foundation, because it's important for you to understand it. Our mission is to drive radical breakthroughs for the benefit of humanity. Our motto is making the impossible possible, and using this mindset to really go out there and solve humanity's grand challenges, because they're all extraordinarily difficult. And if we can put out the carrot that attracts teams from around the world who come with extraordinarily different points of views and different approaches to solve the most important problems, we all win. And we do this by really driving global incentive competitions. We put a very clear, measurable, objective goal, and we say the first person to do this wins. I don't care where you went to school, what you've ever done before, what company you're from. This is the problem, the challenge you have to solve. And when you do, not only do you win, we all win. So we're living during a day and age where literally small teams of individuals, people like yourselves, are now more empowered to do the things that only large corporations and governments could do before. So the question is, what do you do with that power? Well, here today, one of the things that this is the perfect audience to be announcing our next XPRIZE is we're looking to foment, to push forward, to celebrate, to announce a new generation of healthcare and biometric sensors. We are here to announce today the 2.25 million Nokia Sensing X challenge, a competition focused really on identifying, highlighting, and celebrating the most brilliant biometric sensors on the planet that will help revolutionize healthcare. Now, many of you are doing this already, and if you are and you're the best in the game, we want to celebrate and bring you to the top and show the world what you have. If you're about to get in the game, we want to help you literally supercharge and pour gasoline on that fire. So why are we doing this? First of all, this is a 3-year competition. About $750,000 awarded per year for the most outstanding sensors in the field. Our goal is really to create an ecosystem of the innovators and companies out there and to give them the platform to really show your stuff to the entire planet. So why are we doing this? Number one, we need better sensors. I mean, for God's sakes, and you know this, my car, my airplane, my computer's got more biometric, more sensing capabilities than we do as humans. We should be creating gigabytes of data per day about our body's health, monitoring every single moment, every single second of what we do. The fact that it doesn't exist right now is terrible. And we have that ability. So why now? Because we can. The technologies exist, you exist, the marketplace exists to create that kind of capability. Second, we now have the ability to begin to analyze that amount of data with AI coming online, with cloud computing. So this could not have been done 10 years ago. It can be done now. Third, the inefficiencies of our US healthcare systems is epic. We're spending 15% of our gross domestic product on this. We're in a point, I think Rand recently released a study that said 45% of the time you go to the physician, you get the wrong course of treatment, the wrong diagnosis. By 2020, we're going to be short 91,000 doctors in the United States. There's no possible way for us to train enough doctors. And then medicine has become so informationally intensive, normal humans can't even analyze that amount of data. So our goal is really to help stimulate and revolutionize healthcare. We need to expand the sensor and sensing, not only sensors, but sensing technologies beyond disease management to areas like public health and fitness, to give consumers 24/7 real-time data and about their health, because health happens anywhere, anytime, at 2 a.m. in the morning, in the middle of any place on this planet. So the winning team for this X challenge could come from anywhere on the planet. This is a competition that is open globally. This is about best in class from multiple disciplines: medicine, mobile, sensing, and sensor technologies. The judging criteria will be based on demonstrated validity, usability, relevance, originality, interoperability, and affordability of the technology. We're looking at all of these. The general categories and areas of these sensors will include areas like biofluidics and tissue, structures and form, environment, kinematics, mood and emotion, and body physics. So, it's likely that these solutions will come from very unexpected places. In fact, when we launch an XPRIZE, the mission we have is really to give visibility to those crazy ideas, because the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. So where in society do we allow the most innovative ideas to come forward? Well, we hope that this is a platform that will give that. One of the things that I'm excited about is that we are partnering the Nokia Sensing X challenge with a competition that I had the pleasure to announce along with Don Jones and Paul Jacobs at CES in January, called the Qualcomm Tricorder XPRIZE, funded by the Qualcomm Foundation. This is a competition that's asking teams to basically integrate the sensors that will come out of the Nokia Sensing X challenge, along with AI, along with cloud computing, along with digital imaging, into handheld mobile devices that the consumer can use to diagnose themselves better than the board-certified doctor. And I can tell you that from the response we had from the Qualcomm Tricorder XPRIZE, we've had over 185 teams from over 25 countries around the world who've registered in the first 90 days to compete in that competition. So I expect that the Nokia Sensing Challenge is going to at least meet, if not exceed that. It is when we launched the Qualcomm Tricorder XPRIZE, and we knew we wanted to do a parallel competition in this biometric sensing world, which is going to feed so many important breakthroughs. I called one person, an individual who I knew had the vision and the background to potentially make this happen. And it was beautiful, because it was on this phone call that the gentleman I'm about to introduce said, "Yes, I get it, I'm in, let's do it." And it was that kind of passion, that kind of immediacy, and that kind of commitment to inventing the future that this person brings. And this individual is none other than Henry Tirri, Nokia's Executive Vice President and CTO. Henry is focused on research and innovation. It's in his DNA, as it is in Nokia's. He joined Nokia in 2004 as a research fellow in software and applications. And it was during this time that he ran research activities in the field of intelligent systems, networking, and wireless sensing networks. As the CTO, Henry drives core innovations across the company and is responsible for setting Nokia's current and future technological agenda. He's in the middle of probably the most exciting time of Nokia's future, where he's really creating a new future for the organization. Day in day, he's exploring possibilities in mobile computing, and it's of no surprise to learn about his passion in this area. In fact, it's my understanding that he did his graduate work in wireless sensing. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce my friend, my partner, Henry Tirri. Henry?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess they want to have it. Thanks. Thanks. Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me here today. So I'm actually super excited of being here to launch something like, as you heard from Peter, it's very close to my heart, the Nokia Sensing X Challenge. But let's go a little bit back in time and think about Nokia. So over the years, Nokia has done a lot of innovations in the wireless world. Many of them have shaped the wireless world from, the first handheld mobile. I don't know if you remember the size of these bricks from 1987, making these phone calls, setting a gold standard, what we nowadays call the pure view technology. It is the 41 megapixel camera in the device, which is just for today. Our goal has always been to push technology and the boundaries of technologies related to mobile computing and the mobile devices. I joined Nokia to change the world, from academia to do things that have impact in the world. And I joined Nokia because the ongoing innovation in computing, I'm a computer scientist by training, mobile devices have continuously pushed this innovation forward, being in the forefront. And now, as we've seen, sensors have emerged during these years, really one of the key ingredients of this new generation of mobile computers. If you think about the sensors that you can find in the devices, there's a GPS, there's accelerometer, there's various different types. Actually, camera is a sensor by itself, microphone. We have a mobile device which is a highly connected sensor device. I tend to call these sensor packages that we carry around with us in the pocket. And they are packages that actually help us to understand better the needs that we have. Where do we spend our time? Where do we go? What do we do in those places? Which roads are busy in the commuting hours, and then so on. It's quite obvious that we are seeing that we are already starting to build sort of a wear index of the world, of the physical world, what's happening in different places, which is enabled by these sensors. But you should not only think about this type of aware and the sort of the sensing of related with location, but we know that mobile devices have actually become the most common platform for collecting social data on the planet. So the question is now that why would we do more research? Why do we go forward with this type of thing? I mean, that we hear today. We have at Nokia many different ways of nurturing innovation. So there are these ways that are related with standardization, collaboratively working with various different companies and governmental agencies to create standards so that things can work together. There's a pure research funding for universities to do collaboratively solving things that are too difficult to solve alone. Nobody can solve these things alone. All these are really, really qualities also today's challenge. We see at Nokia that there's an exciting future for sensors, technologies. We believe that the new breed of these intelligent devices will enable ultimate wellness as well as sort of capability of what we call a continuous life logging, that you really can understand much better what you are doing. If I go back in the history, actually before I joined Nokia about 8 years ago. More than a decade ago at Nokia, we began investigating different sensor types, which could be then incorporated in the future devices. This was in Nokia research, and they were actually, believe me or not, they were already at that point of time motivated by health, or some of them were motivated by the health. The things that we looked at include like augmented touch sensors like eSkin, which responds to hovering on the surface on the device. There are chemical and biochemical sensors integrated to the device surface. So we call this nano-nose. So you can sort of detect various different types of chemical signals. We have environmental sensors, UV, humidity, temperature, gas, that allow the devices to become environmental aware, so you can look at the environments. And basically also through the algorithms and sort of method development, it's mostly called this type of a pattern recognition and measurement, we are leveraging nanomaterials for this sensing, using them as transparent conductors, or in fact even more in electronics, flexible electronics. So we are looking deeply in graphene, for example. This is the answer to the question that I'm always asked, why does Nokia do nanoscience research? So you can see we are excited. All right, I'm excited, we are excited by the potentials in the sensing technologies that we have and sponsoring this Nokia Sensing X challenge. Because we aim to facilitate and inspire research in area which we are also serious in exploring. I actually mentioned already that we engaged in multiple different innovation activities. We call it open innovation, standardizations and research and so on. But if we go on now and look at why we are trying to advance this type of open innovation by XPRIZE, you should look at the nature of this particular open innovation method. So XPRIZE, this type of a competitive challenge that is presented overall to the larger open innovation audience has proven to be a very interesting and very sort of engaging method of opening a very broad amount of innovation in a very different way. The XPRIZE success and the sort of visioneering process that I've been part of shows me that how well, you already heard, how well this thing works. And when I was looking at, and I got the call from Peter, believe me, actually it was in Sharon Heights in Palo Alto, outside of Starbucks. Peter gave me a call, and I literally at that point of time, I was like, I'm going to make everything I can to make this happen. Because I believe this is the type of innovation activity that we also need to leverage more, and as a Nokia, we want to be part of. So the power of these competitions is not only to do like a huge amount of stuff and research in a short space of time, but it is actually the power of inspiring and stimulating something which is much more sustainable. You know, an entire ecosystem of things. You hear a lot about ecosystems now, not in biology, but also in the business. Entire ecosystem and new industries. So I'm really in the Nokia Sensing X challenge because I firmly believe that the benefits of this competition will absolutely deliver 100-fold of sponsorship investment, which is something Peter always is proudly pointing out. And like I said, XPRIZE Foundation has already proven this concept. Now, we want to create something new, something novel. We want to inspire profound thinking just behind, you know, just a simple individual small research results. I was a researcher. I was in academia many decades. So I'm confident that through this partnership, we can accelerate the use of advanced sensing technology in mobile health. And it will be playing a major role transforming the lives of billions of people around the world. Remember my motivation, leaving academia and coming to Nokia. But it's always good to put the end goal in a very simple way. To stimulate a revolution in healthcare-related sensors. Not evolution, revolution. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Henry. I think all of you can understand why we're so proud to have Nokia as our partner and Henry really leading that charge. Together, we are looking to revolutionize the healthcare sensing industry and really, again, to find the hundreds of teams with crazy ideas that are actually the breakthroughs that we all can bring in. So I want to ask all of you here in the audience today to help us and to invite you to get involved, either as a team that will register and compete in the Nokia Sensing X Challenge, or as someone that will help spread the word. You can see on the slide over here the mechanisms by which you can post and tweet about it. Ultimately, right now, our most important job is to get the word out so that those teams that are dreaming can start doing, demonstrating, and we can recognize and award the very best sensors out there on the planet. Thank you all. It's a pleasure, and look forward to seeing you again in a little over a year's time when we start the first of 3 awards in the Nokia Sensing X Challenge.